You'll have to click "Got It" to clear the little thing there. It's in your way. And remember, one of the most important pieces is the softening and releasing and relaxing as best you can. And feeling the support of the chair and how it connects you to the root, the state of rootedness, meaning you're stable. And when we stand up, you have to find that same connection through your legs in order to feel connected to the ground. And then these first exercises here are just this idea that our body generally holds tension. And so we want to move all the parts to clear those little spaces. So slide hands forward, drop the head a little bit, rounding the back, and then slide the hands back. Lift the chest, look up, pull the elbows back. And we'll do this a few times. Slide hands forward, drop the head, gently round. Slide hands back, lift and up. And a couple more. Moving each of the 24 vertebrae, noticing that you can move this body and be in a relaxed state. You don't have to engage and get all tense. And settle back to the middle. Rotations, left hand forward, right hand back, turning, looking to the right. And back through the middle, turning to the left. And movements can be executed with ease and softness and relaxation. And then back to middle. Arms hang, softly lean left or right, whichever side you want. Just back and forth, just softly getting that feeling of releasing through movement. And we're back to middle. Shoulder circles, forward, up, back, down. Forward and up, back and down. 3 more. And reverse, back and up, forward and down. One more. And scoot a little bit back, load, push, load, down. Switch, load the leg, push, reload, set it down. Continue. One more each. Just getting all the joints to move through their ranges. And foot and ankle, float your right foot out, point and flex. Invert, evert, a little in, out. Circles. Other way. switch, point and flex, invert, evert, circles, reverse, and scoot forward, swivels, open, close, open, close, open, and then walk it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, we're back. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3. Other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold, and then in, 2, 3, 4. Once more. And neutral legs, forward fold. And sit upright, lean back, and sit upright. Forward, and upright, back. Let's do this one more time. Now, from sitting upright, slide your feet back a little bit, folding at the hips, shoulders and head and arms in front of your ankles, and then push through the earth and rise to standing. Sit back down the same way you got up, but in reverse, so the hips go back, head and shoulders out in front of your ankles, sink, and then sit vertical. Do it again, noticing the effortless opportunity to just kind of melt your way through the movement, melt your way up. When you come up, there's no need to hold on to your body up here. Everything can be relaxed. Fold, sink. Do 2 more. Now, squats where you don't sit in your chair, you just sink and then rise. The goal here being ease, softness, relaxation, melting through movement, melting through movement. Loose. One more. And stay standing. Now, move closer to your right side chair, and you'll use that as your support if needed, but ideally, no hand on anything. Body weight, let it go down through the right leg, left foot being empty, lift the heel and get all the way to the tippy toes. And then lower that foot down without any weight in it, and change your weight over to the left leg. Right foot being empty, heel up to the tippy toes, but the foot stays in contact with the floor. Foot back down, change. So feel that change happen first, then that empty foot can do what you want it to do. Change. Feel that change happen where there's a distinct difference. The empty foot can do what you want it to do. Let's take that one step further. You might need your chair for this. As you get to your tippy toes, try to disconnect the foot from the floor and then place it back down on the floor with no weight, and then change. Once it's empty, get to the tippy toes first, disconnect, reconnect, change. Get to the tippy toes, disconnect, reconnect, change. Eventually, this exercise can have a flow to it where it's as you're releasing through the leg, the other foot is floating up. So this is an example of what I've been talking about when I say it can become instantaneous. You can move fast, quote unquote, using these principles. But it's all dependent on how much you can release through and get to making this leg your support leg so that it seems as though they're happening simultaneously. It's releasing through and lifting. But most of the time, if you try to do it fast, there's going to be some sort of pulling and the body gets tipped off the center. So that's why this slow, getting it empty, getting to the tippy toes, coming up, coming down, getting a very clear, distinct quality of that as best you can. Okay, now inside leg, the right leg closest to the chair, empty it and put the heel out and we rock and rock back. Ideally no hands, but it's there if you want to just let that hand slide along. And an interesting sort of, you could say, essential idea in the Tai Chi that I think is so important for the Parkinson's, because you guys are often dealing with the dyskinesia piece where there's just a lot happening. And the natural response would be to stop that from happening, right? To hold the movement, but that just makes you stiffer and more rigid and probably creates even more movement. So the Tai Chi idea that there's a place, even if everything here we're doing this, even if I'm doing octopus arms, there's an idea of stillness, undisturbed stillness. So my arms could be doing spirals and my head could be doing circles, but because of the relaxed state, this area, this still point is undisturbed. So keep that in mind, that when you experience maybe the dyskinesia piece in the shoulders, something going on like that, just see if you can allow that to move freely and note that there might be a stillness that retains itself if you relax, if you allow. It's just an idea, and it's a real idea, but it's hard to practice. Let's go level 2. Lift, lower, shift. Wait for it to actually be empty. Flamingo, lift that foot. Toe touch down, shift back. Lift, lower, shift. That still point undisturbed. Shift. Lift, lower, shift. Flamingo, touchdown, shift. Lift, lower, shift. Lift, lower, shift back. Now this is where you probably need hand on chair, that full lift of emptying the hip, bringing that knee up. That's one. And then this is probably the harder of the two. This back leg comes forward and up like you're getting ready to step up on a high stair. And then you have to reach the toe back without putting weight in the foot, then shift back. So here's this lift and down and shift. And then this piece where the foot and knee come forward and up, reach back, and you keep retaining that still place, and then you shift back. Let's do 2 more. Shift. Shift. And again, we're practicing the leg that requires your attention is the leg that is your full leg. And down. Go to the other side. Hand near the chair so it's there if you need it. Inside leg out in front, level 1. So this here is just a great practice before you're getting ready to go anywhere. Or let's say you're at the supermarket or you're somewhere and you're standing in line. You can just be practicing this piece right here, just kind of shifting and shifting to break whatever grip there is in the body. That's sort of like a caution against moving forward and backwards through space. And this helps us find our middle, that middle that's floating and floating. And that same idea of if there's dyskinesia, if there's movement happening, just kind of go with it, let it be there, but keep this idea that this here can just cruise, undisturbed. Level 2. So that's where we lift, lower, shift, back leg, flamingo, toe down, shift back. Empty front hip, lower and shift. Heel to butt, touchdown, shift. And just continue. Shift. 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 And back. So we're just training our legs to receive the weight and connect it to the root like a plug in a socket. Through that leg to the root, plug in a socket. Let's go level 3. Knee comes up, heel floats down, shift. Knee comes forward and up. This is the tricky part. Reach the toe back without putting any weight in it. Shift back. Up, down. Wait for it till you actually change which leg is your plug. Then the empty leg moves easily. Shift back. Take the time to wait for that change to happen. Then that leg moves with ease. Change. Change. And we're back. Great job. Switch sides again. So we're over here. Right foot out in front, heel touching, level 1 of the single step forward, single step back. So it's shift, wait for back foot to be empty, swing it through, let the heel touch in front, and shift. And then shift back, wait for the front foot to be empty, swing it back, touch the toe, find your landing zone, and then shift back. Shift. Smaller steps are fine. Better than bigger steps, but the main key is this change between full and empty. So it's right leg full, left foot empty, step the empty foot, change, left leg full. Again. Same idea. This part of you relaxed, still, loose. Level 2. So it's lift, lower, shift, step over an obstacle. Shift. Little flamingo lift, lower, shift back. Up in front, bend the knee, reach the foot back, touching the toe, shift back. Lift, lower, shift. Up and over, shift. Lift, lower, shift back. Up, tuck, push the foot back, shift back. One more, level 2. Whole time, stillness. Stillness. Level 3. Lift, down, shift, heel to butt, knee comes up, foot out in front, down, shift. Now this knee comes all the way forward, then reach back with the toe, shift back, up, tuck, reach back, shift, up, down, shift. Full bicycle. Shift. Knee up, toe back, shift. Last one. and together. Switch sides. Get closer to this chair. Left foot, inside foot, out in front, empty, level 1, just as casual as can be. Change the weight, wait for it, then step. Change the weight, wait for it. Shift back, changing, wait for it, step. Back. Continue. Just let it flow smoothly. Find that still place. Release anywhere that you're doing extra grabbing, holding, gripping. Level 2. Lift, lower, shift. Over an obstacle. Pick up the foot and step over. Shift. Flamingo, lift and lower, and then go back. Now the leg comes up in front, bend the knee and push the foot back. Shift back. Lift, lower, shift. Up and over, shift. Lift, lower, shift back. Up, tuck, push the foot back, shift back. One more, level 2. Teacup bouncing on your head, still point in your middle. Just cruising along, not disturbing that still point everywhere you're going. Level 3. Knee up, down, shift. Full bicycle, heel to butt, knee up, foot forward, lower the foot, shift. Then heel to butt and knee up and reverse. Reach that foot back, shift. Up, tuck, reach. Shift back, up, down, shift, full bicycle, shift, knee up and back, shift. Last one. And back. Now the last one in this series, we have to use our runway. So again, I'll move my chairs back and I'm going to walk along here so that my chairs remain a support item for me as I need. You can find your runway wherever it makes most sense. And we're going to go level 1. So the foot is out in front, empty. There's the weight shift. You wait for the back foot to be empty. You step it forward. Shift. Wait for the back foot to be empty. So it's this moment that people often miss. That. And then when that back foot's empty, you can just float it out empty. Set it up. And then there's that. That. We reverse it. Slow. Backwards is always harder. Shift. Once the front foot is empty, then you can just go back with the toe. But notice I didn't put my weight back there yet. And then there's that shift. The foot goes back, toe touch. Shift. Toe. Shift. So this just demands that you find your stillness. There and back again. Shift. 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 So slowing it down so that you're in the state of complete mastery and control to whatever degree you can get that. And that has everything to do with stillness. Stillness in the moment doesn't mean you're stagnant. Doesn't mean you're not movable or moving. Right? There's a stillness that is undisturbed, whether you're moving all over or you're standing still. Let's go level 2, lift, lower. Now everything's going to be stepping over something. So it's up and over, shift, up and over. Just adds a bit of challenge. Are you truly empty full? If that foot is empty, it should be able to step without major disturbance. Wait for it, then step. Wait for it, step. And reverse, shift, wait for it. This is always a little trickier. Up, tuck, reach, shift back. Up, tuck, reach, shift back. Up, tuck, reach, shift. Up, tuck, reach, shift. Up, tuck, reach, shift. There and back again. Lift, lower. And as you get a little more proficient with this, it can start to flow where it just feels like pouring your weight. Pouring your weight. Just this loose quality. Loose quality. And closing that little bit there, turn and face. Settle to your middle. Knees still soft, ankles soft, feet open, hips open, body not being grabbed onto, but rather this liquid matrix, this looseness being something you're relying on and feeling that integrity of. And then keep that as we do our side walking. So now change your weight into your, should be your right leg. It's my left, your right. And then this other foot being empty, bring it in and out, keeping the established weight through that right leg of yours, and the left leg remaining empty, and no disturbance as you step out and in. One more time, step out, keep the foot out. Now change so that left leg is the full, right leg empty, and then change back. And then change across. And change back. Change. Now, stay in your left leg, bring the right foot in and out without disturbing this whole relationship you have. One full, one empty. Really, it's three empty. So this leg is as empty as these arms. Now, bring the foot in, keep it in, change. Now, left foot being empty, step it out. Change. As soon as that right foot is empty, it can come in, change, out, change, this down quality, bring it in, change, step out, side stepping. This is a great one for just developing this support hammock and this relationship between your legs. Other way, out. Bring the empty foot in. Say in your head, step without shifting. Shift without stepping. Step without shifting. Shift without stepping. Step without shift. Shift without step. Step without shift. And then eventually they can start to blend, like I was talking before, where they're almost happening simultaneously. And so this is where speed or efficiency comes out of Tai Chi. By slowing down, you can become very efficient. Let's go there and back again. Go as slow as you need to make sure you're creating that distinction and then moving. Create that distinction. Those of you that feel like you're getting it after many months of practice, maybe you feel like you want to do a few where you go, can I almost blend them together? Can I be efficient with this movement of down through one and step the other, and down through that and step the other, and keep that feeling of soft and still. Other way. It's just prioritizing not the stepping foot, but the stable leg. Prioritizing that first frees up the stepping foot, right? But that's not how our mind thinks of it at first. We think about stepping, where am I going, rather than where am I? Am I stable where I am? Okay, come back to the middle, shogun or closing gesture. And rotational steps. Be inside your chairs here. Turn right foot out. Shift onto that right foot, let the body rotate that way and bring the left foot to match. Then change, emptying the right foot, emptying the right foot, turning it out, and then shift into the right foot, turning, bring the left foot to match. Fill that left leg, turning right foot out as it's empty. Shift. So the first round, do it very distinct. Empty the right foot by filling the left, turn the empty foot out. Shift and fill that foot, bring the empty foot along to the right. And then stay with as slow as you need to go as you make your way around, or you can be working that simultaneous idea of as I'm filling one, I'm emptying and I'm turning. And then as I'm filling, I'm bringing that one around. So it happens almost on top of each other. Around a third time. Once you get back facing forward, go to the left, turn left foot out. Turn, empty left foot, turn it out. Shift into the left foot, turn, bring the right foot to match. Empty left foot, turn it out. Notice that still place within. That's what we're really cultivating. Can you keep that still point as you change one leg and turn the other out? Can that still point be retained as you change legs and rotate your body in space? So there's a constant. That's what we're trying to cultivate. No matter what's happening at the outer body, finding that internal stillness, which makes us resilient, balanced. It's like the middle of a seesaw, the middle of a pivot is never changing. So that's the power of the middle. Finding the middle means you can do whatever is needed, whatever is appropriate, but not losing that stillness. After you finish, then right foot again, instead of turning out, we turn it internal. Shift into the right leg and reorient yourself a quarter turn left. Empty the right foot again, pigeon toe it, turning the toes in, the leg in, and then shift into that leg and reorient yourself. Doing it again, pigeon toe, shift and reorient. Again, empty the right leg, pigeon toe, shift and reorient. Empty right leg, pigeon toe. Go around twice. Empty and full, and then change, empty and full. Empty, then step. Then change, empty, and then step. A still point in the middle, undisturbed. And the other way. Pigeon toe, change and reorient. Left foot, pigeon toe, turning it in, and reorient. Best you can, rely on your legs. One leg cultivated as a stable leg, the other is empty and free. Go around twice. So what they talk about in Tai Chi is double weighted, that a lot of people are moving around space, double weighted, meaning your weight is always in both your legs and you're sort of hammering away at the ground, versus you've made one empty and one full, and then you've made the other empty, the other full. And that is the essential technique. And we're back to middle. And then let's put all that together. Right foot turn out. You shift and turn, and you keep turning and pigeon toe the left. And then in 2 foot movements, you're able to rotate and face 180 degrees away. And then you go right foot turn out. Shift, keep turning, pigeon toe. And in 2 foot movements, we're all the way back to where we started. So in 4 foot movements, we get all the way back to where we're starting. Let's do that again. 1, shift and turn and pigeon toe, that's 2. Shift and turn and keep turning, turn the right foot out, 3. Shift and turn, keep turning, pigeon toe left foot, 4. And we're back. Let's do that one more time. And the key, once again, is 1 foot empty, the other full. And then are you patient enough to wait for that change? Or trying to make you move? Now, let's go the other way, 3 times. Left foot out. Shifting, turning, keep turning, and pigeon toe. Shifting, turning, opening. Turning out again. Shifting, turning, pigeon toe. Shifting, turning, back to where you started. 4 foot movements. And if you're not quite back, that's fine. It's no problem. It's just that's the ideal. But the idea here, the main idea is just that your middle is undisturbed, teacup on your head undisturbed, and you're just making 1 full, 1 empty, either internally rotating or externally rotating the leg. Feeling that central line, central point, undisturbed. And we're back to neutral, shogun, closing gesture, settling down through your middle. Pausing here for a moment. And make sure your chairs are wide, but within reach, so that if you need them, you can get to them. Now we have our, what we'll call ballistic movement. Movement that has some momentum, that has some force going. The first one is forward. So we empty, we fill left leg and be near this chair. And right foot is empty, right? It's my left, your right. So instead of just shifting into the leg like we were doing sort of passively, this back leg, this teaches us how the back leg should not be locked. We should not be standing up like you're on a stilt, but rather softly, just a little bit bent. So there's some spring loadedness in this back leg. And then it's that spring loadedness that we push off and advance and bring this back foot forward, toe touching, but no body weight in it. And then this front leg being slightly bent, there's a little push off and we drag this front foot back to it. So now there's this advancing and then retreating. Advancing, retreating. Do your best to feel that force go down to the earth every time. We're going backwards in space, but we transfer it down to the earth rather than keeping it up here and us feeling like we're going to fall over either forward or backwards. It's this advanced momentum guided to the earth. Retreat with that momentum, guide it down through the leg to the earth. Loose as can be. Advance. Retreat. 3 more. Advance. Retreat. Advance and gather right into the retreat and gather. advance down to the earth, right back, and switching sides. Near this chair should you need it. Inside leg should be your left foot. It's my right, your left. And again, instead of just this casual rock, which is very valuable, we add this idea of pushing off and advancing and dragging that back foot in, but this back foot stays empty. Push off, guide that momentum to the earth. Forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, and back. Each round softer, looser, using a little bit of springiness, but it doesn't have to feel like effort and work and sort of like tensing everything up. It can be swift without making you lose your stillness. And back. Now we're already over near this left side chair. Got a little bit of extra space to the right. Empty that inside right leg and lateral and bring that leg in. And then we go back. Push off. This foot is empty. So there's a push and this drags in. And then this retains empty, push. So you feel the leg that's full is loaded. It has power. Ballistic. Ballistic. And also what you want to feel is at first, what often happens is people lift off the ground and they pull out of their root, but you can move swiftly without ever leaving this feeling of rootedness. So in a way, the root isn't even dependent on the feet. The feet help and connect us to it, but there's a sense of floating sort of energetic connection to the root. And the middle retains its stability. And now that we're over on this side, let's do it again. Empty your inside leg, empty, advance, retreat, advance, and retreat. Switch sides. Advance. Retreat. Now, close here, empty inside leg, side, side. And shogun. Closing. And then we'll finish with some Tai Chi specific leg position here. So weight into your left leg, right foot turns out about 15 degrees. Change your weight into that right leg and step left foot just a little bit forward, hands stacked on the belly. Now shift 70% into your front leg, back leg's foot stays on the ground. Turn the belly button to point forward and a little bit extra turn to that, it would be your left corner. Stay to the left corner as you sit back 100% into your right leg, and then turn to face that right corner. Shift into your left leg, turn. Once you get to this corner, stay to that corner, turn. So let this belly button height be where most of the turn happens. Shift, turn. Shift back, turn. Shift, turn. Shift back, turn. 2 more. Turn. Shift back, turn. This has various benefits, but what we're doing here is we're opening up this quad. Opening and opening. Let's switch sides. Bring that front foot back, turn it out 15 degrees. Shift, step, and we've got turn, shift back, turn. 70% into the front leg, turn. 100% goes into your back leg, turn. Shift, turn. Shift back, turn. Shift, turn. Shift back, turn. 2 more. Shift, turn. This is called the 4 corners. Turn. Around, back, around, back. And find middle. Shogun. And then our closing, have your chair turn like this and be facing forward. So you have your hand on your chair for balance. That's where you'll start. Or if balance seems with you today, hands stacked over the belly. So now change your weight to your left leg, right foot empty. And again, you could have your hand on your chair here. Step behind, toe touch. Now press and then release and then step parallel. Change your weight to your right leg. Step left foot behind, touch, press, release, and step parallel. Change. Step behind, press, and release. Now the key to this pressing of the foot is that I don't do this. I don't do that. I stay in this front leg and I press, so I'm getting a calf stretch, hip flexor stretch, and then back up. And this is also practicing sort of a martial art step, dance step, just a bit of a challenge, a sort of twisting step behind, right? And finally, what we add is, as you press that heel, you look over the shoulder towards that foot, and it creates this full body ringing out. And then you step behind, and as you press that heel, you look a little bit over. And neutral, step behind, and press and look. Middle, step behind, press and look. And we're back to middle. Now, bring your chair where it was. Step over to your right side chair. Turn, so if this is my left hand, it should be your right hand. So your left leg, it's my right leg, your left leg turned out, and then you lift it, close it in, and land it down. Turn it out. While it's turned out, lift it, close it, and land it. Turn it out. Lift it, close it, land it. Turn it out. Lift, close, land, turn out, lift. Right? So you get this flow. Good, switch sides. Turn that right leg out. Lift, close, land. Turn out. Lift, close, land. Turn out. Then maybe you float a little bit. And switch sides. Finally, this, again, instead of it turned out, swivel on the ball of the foot so the left leg is turned internally. Bring the knee across your body and then open. And land it while it's still open. And then you swivel on the ball of the foot, internal. Inside out circle. Swivel on the ball of the foot, internal. Inside out circle. Swivel. Inside out circle. Swivel. Two more. Last one. Switch. Swivel. Cross. Open. Down. Swivel. Cross. Open. Down. Two more. And hands on your quad, your inguinal region, groin area. Around the hips to your sacrum, tailbone, lumbar. Then, like you're sitting in a chair, butt back, slide the hands down, come around, and come up the inseam. Forgot to say, go down the outside of the leg. Like you're sitting, and then come up. And up. And then finally, up the outer, down the inner. The idea here is that we're just resetting the natural flow in the body. Other arm, up the outer, down the inner. Just according to Chinese medicine, that's how they view it, is that the yang and yin channels flow in particular pathways, and we want them naturally going that way. And then shogun, closing gesture. Settle to your middle. Seal. 1, 2. And then Taoist bow, thumb, fold, and bow. All right, thank you so much, everybody. If there's any questions, feel free.